Hello everybody, how's it going? It's me, Crendor, and welcome back to me asking Noble all my lore questions and the very bad, dumb lore questions where I'm like, why is this a thing? And Noble's like, Crendor, you are dumb. And then I'm like, that makes sense.
For the record, I have never called you dumb in public quite yet. There is no records of this at all.
That's true. But, you know.
Nah, I always love your questions and insight, especially if you're trying to keep up with the Shadowlands lore. I've heard a lot of people say, like, this is confusing. I've been out of the lore for a year, and what are we doing?
Oh, yeah. Like, the last time I really paid attention to the lore was when you last told me about the lore. Which I think was almost a year ago. It's probably like May of last year, I think, or something. It's been a while.
It's been a long while. Yeah, I saw you tweet about it. You were like, I'm confused about the lore, what's going on? And I was like, Crendor, should we do a sit down? And you were like, yeah, I was just about to message you. So it all just worked out perfectly.
Yeah, I was literally like, I'm going to need Noble to explain all this because I am probably the most confused I've been in a while. It's
You're not the only one.
Yeah, so can you, let's see, what has happened so far in the Shadowlands? Like, just a brief synopsis. Also, I'm flying around Burning Crusade just for, you know, nostalgic Burning Crusade classic purposes, but really that's the only relevance.
Just go to Nagrand. The other zones, not worth. What has happened so far in the Shadowlands? Up to what point are you still up to date with the Shadowlands story?
I know there's the Jailer, there's Sylvanas, and there's... You rescue Anduin, and you rescue the Baine Bloodhoof, and then he sits in the corner, and they're like, "You're not," and he starts crying.
Okay. I'll get onto that one. Right, so we went into the Shadowlands because Sylvanas has ripped the Helmet of Domination apart. That was once upon a time on the head of Bolvar 4 Dragon, the new Lich King, keeping the damned contained. But Sylvanas stole it from him, ripped it apart, and oh my god, there's a massive tear in the sky. That took us into the Shadowlands. She has allied herself to the Jailer, the big bad of the Shadowlands, and she sent out the Maw-Sworn in order to kidnap our leaders. They took Anduin, Baine, Thrall, Jaina. They also tried to take Tyrande Whisperwind, but Tyrande is infused with the Night Warrior power, so they were unable to get her.
Oh wait,
we had to get our leaders back.
Quick interruption. Is that where we go to Torghast and we like fight with her? Or we find her right in Torghast, and she's like, "Hey, I'm here."
Yeah. Basically, Tyrande has gone through this ritual, which has become vengeance personified. She wanted, in Battle for Azeroth, the Horde attacked Darkshore, and she wanted to kick the Horde out. So she was like, Alun, I really wanted. And Alun was like, okay, fine, here, go through this really dangerous ritual. And she becomes super powerful, and they were able to kick the Horde out of Darkshore, except her vengeance isn't complete quite yet. She has been able to kill Naphanos for what he has done, but the Bench Queen is still out there. So by the point that we team up with Bolvar and we're like, hey, we need to go to the Shadowlands, the original plan was that we were going to do the grunt work and the important people stay behind, you know, because we're not that important. But Tyrande was like, F that, I'm coming with. So she jumped into the portal, went on her hunt for Sylvanas, and to this day is still running the halls of Torghast, grinding those levels, trying to get her Maw Mount, and trying to get Sylvanas' head in her hands. So we went in to rescue those leaders, and along the way we went through the zones. We figured out that the Arbiter was broken. The Arbiter is this being that's supposed to sort the souls, and that got destroyed somewhere around Legion with a big old red ball attack. So the souls are no longer sorted, meaning that Anima that comes with you as a soul is also no longer being distributed amongst the domains. So we gotta help them out with the problems until eventually we indeed go into the Maw. We go into the Tower of Torghast, which is where the Jailer keeps his favorite prisoners, and we do save a Baine, a Thrall, and a Jaina. We are unable to save an Anduin, who has been given some special attention by the Jailer. The first time that we dropped into the Maw, with Tyrande joining us, and we needed to find a way out of there, we found this really cool relic, which is connected to mysterious First Ones, they who were there before anything else was there. And for some reason, that relic responded to us. But we needed to buy some time in order to escape. So Anduin, he did his Anduin thing. He was like, the light is always with me, even in this dark place. So he put up his hand, and the light was like, high five, and it was indeed there. But the Jailer took notice of Anduin, and he was like, Okay, cool. These mall walkers escaped, but I found exactly what I was looking for. And he was looking for somebody that could walk into Bastion for him and do the things that we saw in the 9.1 trailer. Anduin being very similar to an Arthas, of course. And yeah, we were unable to save Anduin, and now he is in league with the jailer as well, as Sylvanas has used that blue blade, that Shalamorn, as we like to call it, to dominate Anduin's mind. He is a puppet of the jailer.
Okay. So,
Mm-hmm.
uh, why didn't the light like save Anduin? Like he's like high fiving it, like thanks light, and now he just gets captured.
Basically, the jailer overpowered him. So in the beginning, you saw like this massive wave course over our heroes. A Thrall, a Baine, a Jaina were immediately chained up because the jailer is really, really powerful. Anduin was able to hold the line for us with the light, but not even he was able to stand up against the full focus of the jailer. I mean, it's just poor old Anduin. It's not like it's a raid team or anything in LFR. That's gonna happen soon. Um, so he was able to hold the line for a little bit, but then he was captured, and yeah, it was unable to save him from what Sylvanas was going to do to him.
Okay. Now, I guess what confused me the most
Mhm.
is when with the trailer thing. Maybe actually we'll get to the trailer in a second. So like, is Sylvanas? She's just like a puppet for the jailer, right? Or it's not. It's not like said that she is, but it's implied, kind of, right?
No, I'm actually working coming Monday. I'm gonna do a video on what is up with Sylvanas, where I'll discuss the potential motivation that she has to work with the jailer, because we don't know why she is working with the jailer, what the relationship is. What we do know from not last BlizzCon, but the one before that, is that her relationship to the jailer is not one in which she serves. She's not a slave. They are partners in crimes, working towards the same goals, whatever those goals might be, and that is why she is in league with him.
Well, what do you think those goals could be?
In my we're going deep now. Okay, so with Sylvanas, we know that Sylvanas killed herself at the end of Wrath of the Lich King. She got her vengeance upon Arthas, and she was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm out. I've gotten what I wanted. I don't want to be the undead bench queen anymore. I'm gonna jump off the top of Ice Crown. I'm gonna find my afterlife. I'm out. But she ended up in the maw. So she died. She was judged by the Arbiter, and they found her worthy to be in the maw. That's where just the domain of torment was waiting for her. Arthas showed up, and she was like, "Hey, Arthas, you here? Yeah, we've been naughty, haven't we?" It was like torment and ripped apart and truly feeling. And in that moment, the jailer showed up and got in touch with her. That is where the blank space happens. That is where we don't know what goes down. My personal interpretation is that the jailer is this being that's really good at playing into people's flaws and that's really good at manipulating people. So perhaps he told her something in the direction of the Shadowlands as it is right now. It is not what the afterlife is supposed to be. It's really weird that there's this machine of death going on, and you get sorted into specific domains, and you get put to work for the rest of eternity. Oh, yeah, not to mention, if you have any loved ones in life, yeah, forget about spending your afterlife together with them because you'll all be sorted into individual domains. Um, there is no freedom, and all that's just to keep the jailer imprisoned. Now, the jailer's imprisonment, the reason behind that has been described as this massive betrayal. That is how the other leaders of the Shadowlands describe it. Like, the jailer was a really naughty guy, and we had to imprison him. And that's pretty much what the Shadowlands been used for, to keep that prison going. But what if that imprisonment was perhaps a betrayal from their point of view, but for the jailer, it was like trying to give people freedom, whatever he might have done, like go against some cosmic plan that was out there. What if he just wanted to do a really, really nice thing and they stopped him from doing it? So he chats with Sylvanas. He's able to convince her to go to his side. Like, wouldn't you like freedom in the afterlife? Wouldn't you like to be with your loved ones in the afterlife? Wouldn't you just be able to, I don't know, die and not be put to work for the rest of all of eternity? Wouldn't that be great? Maybe she was like, well, yeah, that does sure sound great. Like, what does it matter what I do in life if the afterlife, right, a moment, a flicker of life versus eternity in the afterlife? What is more important? Well, I might have burned a whole bunch of night elves, But it doesn't really matter because it's for the greater good, and we're going to fix the afterlife, and it's going to be fantastic.
But if that's the case, then it sounds like she's a puppet for the jailer. Because he manipulated her into joining his side. So he's like kind of using her. Yeah.
I mean, puppet implies that she is. Well, fair enough. Yeah, puppet implies that she's not fully aware of what he really wants, which might definitely be a thing. Like, for all we know, what he told her to get her to his side might have been BS, you know? But at the same time, it could also be that she still sticks to what the jailer believes in, that she still believes that what the jailer wants to accomplish, right? Breaking out of the maw, do his whole death wash over you thing. She might think that going against the Pantheon of Death and these first ones, that is still the right option to go.
All right, I see. Here's the thing. I'm getting tired of Sylvanas. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a Sylvanas thing for a while. I just want someone new. I want it to be like Baine Bloodhoof's time, you know? Like when's it his time to shine? What about Cairn Bloodhoof? I got exalted with the Tauren, and then I got to like go up on a mountain and like smoke Tauren weed, and I got a bunch of you carry a totem on your back now. It's great. I want some lore of that.
Yeah. I'll tell Blizzard that. Like, you're not alone either. I've heard a lot of people say, like, we're just done with Sylvanas. But at the same time, Sylvanas is one of the older characters. Big story, big development. And I think she deserves more than just be a raid boss and be killed off and be done with it. I want there to be more to it. I'm not necessarily saying that she should stay alive for the entire expansion. Not at all. But I do hope that there's more to it than just being the bad guy that brought us into the next expansion, you know?
Yeah, what I think, from what I've seen, is I think she's going to do one of those, like, she's the one to, like, kill the jailer or something. One of those, like, she's going to die anyway, but she, like, takes him down with her or something. That's how I think it's going to end, but I got no idea.
Would you like that ending?
Probably not. Well, actually, no, what I would, because then Sylvanas would be gone. So.
Yeah, fair.
I would like that. And like all the other endings are probably like, I don't know. I think that's what's gonna happen.
In my humble opinion, they should have never made it a war chief. They should have never pulled it to the front. Like a character like Sylvanas works the best from the shadows, just doing her thing, a Wrathgate here, resurrecting there. But at the forefront, being the war chief of the Horde and really leading the charge and being the main focus, you're gonna upset some part of the player base, either be a complete Sylvanas loyalist or the Sylvanas haters. Somebody is not gonna be happy with her ending.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. All right, now let's go to the trailer part here. All right, so there's like what is happening in that trailer? Is there like a big meeting going on? Like, what's set the scene essentially?
Before the trailer, you mean? Set the scene. So last time that we saw Anduin and Sylvanas talking to each other, they were talking about, like, look around you, Sylvanas, look at who you joined. Do you really think you're the good guy? And Sylvanas was like, I really want you to join us willingly, because I really don't want to force this job upon you. Like, I remember Arthas, he did it once to me. It wasn't fun. If you could just, I don't know, agree with me and join us willingly, that would be great. To which Anduin was like, well, no. You got all the power, Windrunner. Either you can let me go, or you can force this job upon me. You are the one in control. What's it gonna be?
I think I remember seeing that thing. Now you mention it, because that was like was that an in-game cinematic thing or like a?
Yep.
Okay. So what happens is, like, they're walking down. When this all happens, where, like, I think Arthas is there, but it's not Arthas, but it is Arthas or something. Where is this happening? Like, are they going to talk to the main lady? You know, the lady.
Yeah. Yeah, I know the main lady. They are in Bastion right now, one of the zones, the first zone that we partied in. And they are going to talk to the Archon. The Archon is one of the rulers, she is the ruler of this domain, and she is a part of the Pantheon of Death, those that imprisoned the jailer. The Arthas part that you mean is Anduin walks past Uther, and if you've done the Kyrian campaign, you will know that storyline, what happened with Uther. If you haven't, it's quite extensive. We can dive into it if you like. But Anduin walks past Uther, and Uther is like touching his wounds that Arthas left upon his soul with Frostmourne, and he feels the powers of the Maw radiating from Anduin, and he recognizes Anduin as, well, you look a whole lot like Arthas that I knew in life. So it's a little bit of a double recognition. So Anduin walks up to the Archon, even though he never went through any trials, even though he didn't have to prove himself. Nah. He just gets to go in there. Meanwhile, we had to go through hoops in order to get an Archon visit. Doesn't matter, because he's Anduin. He's not a mortal. He's a king. It's like, okay, cool. So Anduin shows up there, and unfortunately, the information from the press kit, so the information what was going to happen to Anduin, was one day early released. So everybody at BlizzCon already knew what was going to happen. Sylvanas has decided to push forward. She has decided to dominate Anduin. So what looks like regular old Anduin now transforms into what we assume to be Death Knight Anduin. At the very least, a mind-controlled puppet of the jailer. And considering that Anduin looks perfectly normal before the transformation, and we have like 3 other leaders that we saved out of Torghast just chilling in Bastion, looking the way that they always did, one might wonder if they are also under someone's control. Not certain, but I would just love to see like a Death Knight Jaina and a Death Knight Thrall and a Death Knight Baine. I think that would be really cool. But yeah, Anduin at the Archon, the jailer controlling him. They stab the Archon, and with Shalamorn, with his weapon, he draws out like the symbol of the Kyrian. And this is apparently one of the keys that the jailer needs in order to break out. And there, Anduin returns it to the jailer, and the jailer says, like, okay, 1 down, 3 more to go. In interviews, they have said that Ardenweald will also come under attack. So I don't think it's hard to imagine that other keys might be found within the other covenants. And that's where that's what Anduin has been doing in Bastion.
Okay. Now, can you see how I'd be confused that it's Arthas?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh no, but they're drawing those parallels on purpose, because he's doing like the whole, when he transforms into the cloud, a lot of people connect that to when Arthas resurrects Sindragosa in the Wrath of the Lich King cutscene. I personally thought it was more like the Warcraft 3 cutscene, where he kneels before his father and he whispers to himself, or hears the voice of Frostmourne like, I've taken care of everything, and then he yoinks his father. But the parallels between Anduin and Arthas are very on purpose, yeah.
I see. Because it's, as soon as I saw that, I was like, I guess what confused me the most is I was like, okay, they're in the Shadowlands, they're in all these, like, so Arthas has got to be here. So when I saw the Arthas stuff, I'm like, oh, they're like bringing Arthas back. Like, that's the jailer's plan. He like went and got Arthas's soul or whatever, and he's like bringing him back, maybe through Anduin, or he's like disguised as Anduin. So that's what I was thinking.
That might be a possibility. In that blade that Anduin is wielding, that Shalamorn blade, they've put in like a blue gem. And I was under the assumption, or I assumed, that blue gem was be like a soul cage that Vanadi gave us in order to like save souls from the Maw. So if that weapon can suck in souls, it might need a container to hold it. But in an interview, they have said that there is an importance to that gem, that the jailer wouldn't put it in there for no reason, which has some wonder, like, did they take Arthas' soul and did they put it in that weapon? That might be a thing. Or Arthas might play a role later in like the upcoming raid. That's gonna be a thing. But yeah.
I mean, I don't know how I'd feel about that. I wouldn't mind Arthas coming back. I know some people be like, this is a reuse of thing, but like, you know, him coming back for like a little bit and being like, hey guys, me Arthas. But like, would he?
Yo, we did it, guys.
I mean, here's the thing: would he be? Because he might be good now, right? Even though he's like here, like he did the thing, and then he like we beat him at the top of Ice Crown Citadel, and he seems like he's like he has some sort of realization of like
I see only darkness before me. You have not played a Kyrian, have you?
No.
Oh, if you're curious about Arthas, I would highly recommend to make a Kyrian character, because they've added a lot to that Arthas storyline. That Uther guy that I just mentioned, he too went to Bastion when he died. Arthas killed him with Frostmourne, like ripped his soul a little bit. But part of Uther's soul still went into the afterlife, and he was wounded, and he couldn't get over his death. In Bastion, you play this whole storyline of Kyrian versus the Forsworn. It's like the blue Smurfs versus the purple Smurfs.
Right.
And Uther is part of the reason why there are purple Smurfs, because they realize, like, oh snap, the powers of the Maw have been able to escape, like Frostmourne on Azeroth. What is going on? That's the whole reason why there are purple Smurfs and blue Smurfs. And when Uther ended up there, Devils, which was another character, she gave him his wings, and she was like, look, we're gonna hook you up with some vengeance, all right? So she and Uther were waiting until Arthas died, then they grabbed his spirit and they just dropped him into the Maw.
I see. Man,
So where's Arthas right now? I mean, he ended up in a maw. Did the jailer torture him for failing him for a long time? That could be a thing. That would make him part of the upcoming raid, potentially. Or did they turn him into a gem? Or, like, what's been happening right now? If Arthas has just been chilling in a maw all this time and nothing really happened to him, which I doubt, but then he will be like one of those shades that we've been fighting in a maw, and it's like, give us information. It's like, Sue gone. I don't remember anything now.
Imagine if, like, you know, Arthas has all the storyline and expansion for himself, all this stuff, and then it finishes by him getting turned into a gem. You know? That's the end of his life. Becomes a gem.
Yeah, you're a crystal now. You're gonna empower my weapon. Nah, personally, I'm expecting him to be part of either the sword or the raid encounter. Like there in the new raid, there's this fate of the damned. It's called, and that raid encounter is gonna be against the worst of the worst souls that ended up in the maw, but also those that are part of the jailer's personal torments. And I can't imagine anyone else besides Arthas and Ner'zhul that the jailer would really like to torment.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So I mean, the big bad guy of this expansion is the jailer. Like, he's can you tell me more about the jailer? Because I feel like I know about the jailer, but I also feel like I don't know about the jailer at the same time.
But do you really know the jailer? Everybody always asks, where's the jailer, but not who is the jailer, right? The jailer. Once upon a time, the jailer did this really naughty thing with the Pantheon of Death Describes as a betrayal. So they locked him up in the Maw. The Maw is the domain where the Arbiter sends any and all souls that are irredeemable. They go directly into the Maw. And sometimes they'll send you off to Revendreth to pay for your sins. If you're unable to, down into the Maw you go. The jailer's been chilling there for a really, really long time, and he wants to break out. He has many plots and schemes boiling. There's this book that suggests that the domain of death has like infiltrated all the other cosmic domains. There's this chronicle image where there's a domain of light and a domain of void and a domain of chaos where the demons come from, a domain of order where the titans come from, a domain of life, and a domain of death. And apparently death has infiltrated all those different domains. He is working on breaking out of the Maw. He is working towards his schemes. Part of those schemes was the creation of the Lich King. Once upon a time, the Lich King came out of the corner of disorder, of chaos, of the Burning Legion. But now they've added to that it was actually the jailer who created Frostmourne and the Helm of Domination. So the whole Lich King storyline was also by his manipulation, all for the sake of pushing forward, all for the sake of breaking those boundaries, breaking out of the Shadowlands, and presumably death washing over the universe. 9.1 is going to dive a whole bunch more into what the jailer wants to accomplish and what Sylvanas, why she allied, what they want to do. And then there's a piece of lore that is surrounding the first ones. The first ones are new beings, and they are there before anything else. That is why they were there first. That's why they call them the first ones. And the first ones have created Oribos. They've created other cities. There's going to be a new piece of land in the next patch that is also by their design. And a lot of the secrets and mysteries revolves around these first ones. Because again, that relic in the Maw, the one that we used to escape, that was also by their design. So there's a connection between the first ones, the Maw, and the jailer. And yeah, that's pretty much where the jailer's at right now.
Do you think the jailer's going to be the final boss of this expansion, or do you think there's a potential of, like, they pull the curtains away and it's someone else?
I would be surprised if it's not the jailer. Like, can they do something else always? But if they truly repeat Wrath of the Lich King, then they show us the bad guy right front and center. He will be the one taunting us, guiding us along the way until that final confrontation.
All right, I see. It's like, there's part of me it's like, dude, what if, like, right, you think it's the jailer the whole time. Jailer gets, like, stabbed by Sylvanas or something. He's like, and then it's like, well, who's the bad guy? And then it's like someone you least suspected. I think I just want something wacky like that to happen, but I think people would probably freak out too.
I wouldn't be against it. Like I said, anything's possible. I think though that the wacky stuff, the plot twist comes from the question of morality, of right and wrong, of this cosmic war that's been going on. I think that's where they want to pull the twists and the turns and be like, oh, you thought Sylvanas was this truly irredeemable bad guy? Well, guess what? This is what actually was happening. Oh, you think the jailer is just this betrayer that deserves to be locked away in the maw? Well, guess what? This is his point of view. This is what he's trying to do. A good example would be Sargeras, like the guy that we defeated at the end of Legion. Sargeras, from his point of view, wanted to save the universe by destroying it. He thought that if he would destroy it, purge it, life would just regrow all nice and good. Which is great, you know, very noble. But from our point of view, he would have still murdered us. So for us, he was still the bad guy. And I think that's where they're going to go with the storyline.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I guess I'm trying to think, like, I'm thinking too outside the box. Like, to me, it's like Gul'dan appears again and hops out of a car, and he's like, get in. We're like, what? Gul'dan's back? And he's like, yeah, I'm playing this the whole time. And then everyone's like, what the shit? This is why I'm not writing
was me, Gul'Daniel.
This is why they don't let me write the lore.
I mean, I would be down for Gul'dan in a car, not gonna lie. That old commercial that they had where you like the car into the dinosaur. Remember that one?
Yeah, for the, you know, the time machine. Like, maybe we're in an alternate timeline. And then
maybe it's
like,
all a dream.
Oh my god, and we're in the Emerald Nightmare. It's all a nightmare.
Shit. We're still back in classic, and that's how they introduced Burning Crusade. It was all just a dream, man.
Oh my god. So where do you think it's going from here?
I think right now we're going to be diving into 9.1 with the motivations behind the jailer. Like a betting man, I don't think Sylvanas is going to make it through the patch, but I'll be happily surprised if she does. Next to that, there is, like, we're dealing with the domain of death right now. There's also the domain of life, and this might tie into, if you recall, when Ysera was brought back, they were like, ooh, the Winter Queen has a sister. And considering that Ysera is part of the Emerald Dream, people are wondering, like, okay, who exactly is this Winter Queen's sister? Is it an Elune or an Aeonar, or, you know, that in combination with Tyrande's storyline, where she still has that Night Warrior inside of her. That Night Warrior was given to her by Elune. I'm hoping to see more of that story play out. Then there are the brokers. We're going to get a broker dungeon in 9.1 with like a heist and a market and all that good stuff. But there's a lot going on with the brokers, with like Vanari in the Maw. There is a broker in Castle Nafria. There are brokers in Oribos that are like pretty dodgy when you listen to what they're doing and pretty shady about their dealings. The brokers could make for a fantastic storyline or patch in the future. What else they got cooking? There was more. Oh yeah, the missing Primus. Pretty much confirmed that that is the Rune Carver, but the Primus could make a return at some point and deal with the Jailer and deal with those forces. And then there are the plot lines of the past. Like, say that the Jailer truly breaks out of the Maw, then we could really see like an epic cosmic war play out in World of Warcraft. We could see forces of the light and of order and disorder and void and all of those forces show up to stand against the Jailer, because at the end of the day, balance is important, and it's been said that if one of the cosmic forces topples the other, it would be pretty bad. So that could be a cool thing. And the first ones, whatever those might be, they could play a part.
Now, when you say you talk to the brokers, like, can I just log in right now, go to the brokers, and be like, how are you? And one will be like, I'm planning something, or like, you know. Not exactly
pretty much.
that.
Well,
but...
you don't even have to click on them. If you just hang out in Oribos, you'll sometimes hear like little dialogues and catch little conversations.
Oh.
Just pay attention to what they're saying. They know about the first ones. They know about more of their cities. Brokers are able to jump into portals and travel to other domains to then kidnap the creatures of that domain and have them fight in Maldraxxus. Brokers can do anything you want them to do, but it always comes with a price. Like the weekly PvP quest is also given by the brokers. They're learning how we fight. They're paying attention to us. All I'm saying is they're just a little bit too kind to be comfortable with them.
Dude, pointless top 10 brokers.
Oh, shit.
One thing, actually, flying through Burning Crusade, are the brokers related to the ethereal dudes at all?
Unknown at this point, besides that they are pretty much the same. It's like they have a different model, but besides that, they got like portal technology. They're also about making deals or whatnot. They seem to be either what happens when an Ethereal dies, or part of their group that just ended up in the Shadowlands for some reason. It does seem to be like they're very much connected. Could also be that there's like a creative drought, and Blizzard was like, well, just copy that and make them candles, but to be revealed at a later time, I hope.
Okay. Yeah, because, like, I didn't even realize that till now. It's like, yeah, brokers, and I was like, wait a second. They're like these guys from back then.
Yep.
Interesting. Alright, well, I know you don't have much time left, but...
Yeah, but do you want to know more? Because we're now into it. Do you want to know more? What else you got?
Now, why... Okay, so this is more of a biased question. Why has there not been any Tauren lore? And is there Tauren lore? And if we did get Tauren lore, where would it happen? Like, is there, like, some greater Mulgore area? Or, like, you know... just anything related to Tauren.
Why is there no Tauren lore? I mean, there's... In Bastion, there's this quest line where you deal with the Tauren spirit that's been dealing with it. But on a more serious note, the whole factions have taken a backseat for the storytelling. In Battle for Azeroth, it was once again Alliance versus Horde, so we got a little bit more there. But in the Shadowlands, they're focusing more on the cosmic storytelling. So far, nothing has really been happening with the factions. We've just been going after our leaders and whatnot. Yeah, I would just write Blizzard and be like, where's my Tauren lore? You know, and then everybody else could be like, yeah, where's my Draenei lore and my Goblin lore and my Blood Elf lore? Where's my lore at?
Well, like, Blood Elves, they get, like, you know, they get stuff in Burning Crusade. They got some other things. They have, like, Kael'thas, who's, like, and then, like, mecha gnomes are a thing, like, gnomes and mecha gnomes, everything. There's not, I feel like Tauren, just, they're not getting enough. I want an expansion with Tauren stuff. Even, I'll take a patch.
Baine had like his Battle for Azeroth, oh, there's the spirit of my daddy thing.
No, that's not enough. That's just like
that
them
wasn't
throwing
good
it in.
enough.
No, that wasn't good enough. That was no. That was literally that's the thing you get exalted with, and then you just go smoke weed with him on a mountain. That's literally it.
Well, like in the case of poor Baine, and this is really sad. Right now with the Baine storyline, if you go into the mob, Baine is like a spirit discarded by the jailer, where he goes like, "I don't want to play with you anymore," and he just throws Baine away. And in the past, when you had to save Baine, I kid you not, on the beta, like right now, you go into one of the earliest levels of Torghast, and he's like, "Hey, thank you for saving me." On the beta, he was just next to Vanari, and she was like, "Yeah, the jailer threw this away," and I thought, well, I might as well pick it up. He's like, "Oh, poor Baine, buddy, you are worth something. Don't you worry about it."
Yeah, like, there's got to be like some cool Tauren stuff, like they're the Earth Mother, and like, you know, with all the nature and everything. Like, what if you go to the Great Plains, you know? Like, there's got to be, like, the Great Plains, like, there's Mulgore, and, like, they fight Quilboar. It'd be a big Quilboar patch. That'd be fun.
Ew, no. We got the big Quilboar patch in Stormsong Valley. Never again. There were, you know how many Quilboars I had to battle in Battle for Azeroth? It was disgusting.
And then, oh my god, but then the Quilboar's the enemy, and then you bring Mankrik with? Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
That's just...
Mankrik's wife in the Shadowlands.
So it sells itself. See, the Shadowlands Mankrik's wife, it feels more like they're just like, hey, here's Mankrik's wife. You know, she's here, she's doing stuff, but like, I want to actually fight with them, you know? I want Mankrik to show up. Mankrik's wife can come with from like the Shadowlands. We bring her with, and we go like fight the Super Quilboar gang. And
All
then
right.
you could
Yeah, I'm
even
down.
you could tie in some of the classic WoW elements, where like the Quillbore with the what's his name, like the liches, the Frost Lich, bring some
Uh-huh.
of those back. I mean, they can do it. They can write it in. They write enough
So
other
you're gonna
stuff
be
in.
playing a whole lot of the new Hearthstone Barons thing, yeah?
Oh yeah, I'll probably play it. Here's the
Yeah.
thing: is like I'll play every Hearthstone thing for at least a bit before I get bored. But that's kind of me, just any
Okay.
Blizzard thing. I'll play it and then be like, "Ooh, is this fun? How long will it hold my attention?" Some things hold it for a few months. Some things hold it for a few weeks. Some a few days. But I'll play it.
Fair enough. I'm trying to think. Like, I do know that there are like kodos in the concept art for the Bazaar of the Brokers, but I wouldn't hold out too much on that.
Hmm.
And besides it, I'm sure that at some point we're gonna go back to the faction storytelling, but not in the immediate future.
Dang.
Nah.
What about like Vol'jin?
Oh, have you made a Night Fae?
I do have a Night Fae.
Then you know what's up with Vol'jin.
Um.
Or haven't you
Oh.
gone through the entire campaign yet?
I haven't gone through the whole campaign. I'm on the part with. I'm only like renowned 15 or something. Then Bonswamdi's like, "Come with me, man," and I'm like, "All right," but I haven't gone with him yet.
Do you want it spoiled? Because it's pretty epic.
Yeah, you can just spoil it. It'll probably be more fun
All
hearing
right.
it from you than actually playing it.
Damn. Well done. Okay. So basically what happens, right? In the whole Ardenweald Night Fae storyline, you eventually deal with Bonsamdi and Muzala. Both are Loa of Death, like competing over it. Muzala is actually Bonsamdi's boss. He was the one who turned Bonsamdi from a troll into a Loa. And at the same time, Muzala is now an ally to the jailer, whereas Bonsamdi is like, you forgot what it meant to be a Loa. Must
Spoilers,
be
by
there
the
for
way.
your people. Eh?
Spoilers, by the way.
Yeah.
Just for anybody listening.
Well, unless you've just been keeping up with the game, then you should be
Well,
okay.
yeah.
So there's like this big old battle, and we help Bonsam capture Muzala. And then in the Night Fae campaign, that storyline continues. And in Battle for Azeroth, there was like this whole story arc with Vol'jin's spirit. Like, why did he make Sylvanas the war chief? What kind of nonsense was that? Why did he die on a broken shore? And it turns out that Muzala was also the one that whispered on his ear and told him to make Sylvanas the war chief. All part of the jailer's plan. So they got Muzala in their hands. They're like, what have you been up to, Muzala? What have you been doing? So they dropped like these spirits into the maw, and Vol'jin joins us into the maw to try and save these spirits. And eventually, after saving the first one, which is Ashamain, he hears more voices, and the Loa that died in Battle for Azeroth, which are Shadra the spider, Hyrik the bat, and Rezan the Loa of Kings. They're found in the maw, but Rezan isn't doing too well. He only has a little bit of essence left, which he gives to Loa. Gives to Vol'jin. Vol'jin then takes it with him into Ardenweald, and the Winter Queen is like, "Ooh, you are something special now. You are a dead war chief, a shadow hunter, and now you got like the Loa of Kings inside of you. You know what we're gonna do with you? We're just gonna put you into one of our little seedlings, and you're gonna rest a little bit." And then who knows what you might turn into? A space butterfly, a new Loa of Kings. We're gonna find out. And that's where Vol'jin is at right now.
Oh shit! So like we might get in some big battle, and Vol'jin comes out as a butterfly, and then he just like he like sprays out pollen and like puts everyone to sleep. And always beat the shit out of everybody while they're asleep.
Yes, he's gonna turn into a massive butterfree. That's what's happening, and he's gonna be like sleep powder.
Dude, I'm all on board again. You've talked me back into it. I need to play this out because
Knife is amazing.
apparently I can catch back up pretty quickly now with the renowned
Yep.
buffs or whatever. Well, that's good.
Like it's just callings, LFR, whatever you want to do in the game. Really, will give you that renown again, not just the 2 weekly quests.
Oh, thank God. All right. Oh my, yeah. You've talked me into it. Because prior to this, my favorite thing about playing Night Fae was just the puppet show they put on, and you get to be a part of it.
Oh, the starting quest is so good though. But like the problem with the Night Fae campaign is a little bit all over the place because one week you'll be dealing with Tyrande, then you're dealing with Vol'jin, and then you're doing a play. But all in all, I really enjoyed lore-wise. I really enjoyed the shit out of it. Yeah.
That's the point. It's all over the place. You're always getting something different.
Not to mention your Covenant ability. That's just a you die now button.
Yeah. No, it's great. I like being the Night Fae, and then you just, you go into your travel form, you jump around. As a rogue, if I go outlaw, I get like that, plus I got my little like grappling hook. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's a Night Fae for you.
Yeah. And it helps me farm mounts. Anything that helps me farm mounts faster, I'm all on board.
Mounts and PvP. I mean, that's Arden Wheels for you. Mounts and PvP.
Yeah. So I'm glad I went Ardenwield. And it's a nice place to look at when you're there.
Oh, have you tried the Inky Black Potion yet from the Darkmoon Fair?
I mean, I've tried it, but not in Ardenwield.
Oh, Ardenweald and Oribos are drop dead gorgeous with that on. So.
Ooh. That's
all
right. I'll check that out. And speaking of checking things out, you should check out Noble's YouTube channel or Twitch channel, because he goes more in depth on lore. Look at that.
I got the things. If you're out there and you're like, well, you might have a nice little talk about these covenants, but I'm not feeling it to play through it myself. I do have all the covenants up on the channel. Well, like I said, coming Monday, we're going to be talking, speculating, discussing Sylvanas' motivation. YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. One day I'll do an OnlyFans. Apparently, did you see you can make people pay for your tweets now? Have you ever read a tweet that you were like, I want to throw money at that?
No, but you never, I mean, I got to open up a paid Twitter thing just so I can do like the dumbest tweets of like, this is the greatest tweet you'll ever see. You got to pay for this. And it's just like, hey.
I would pay solid money to see more buffed Crendor. Fair enough.
All right, okay. I mean, it seems like that's what they're doing. They're just doing like only tweets,
Oh yeah, it's gonna be porn galore. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. No, it will. So, I mean, maybe I'll do I can do it. But here's the thing, like if I'm doing a buff Crendor thing, I'll just put it up on the Instagram. I'll put it up on Twitter. I only do like one of those every so often. I'm like, hey, still working out. Here I am.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Okay, well, you got my support. My money is going your way.
And then, I mean, the paid buff noble tweets are coming eventually, right?
I mean, I'm working on it. I'm not that far as you quite yet, but definitely working on it. I've been kickboxing. Oh my god, it's so much fun.
Kickboxing. Nice.
Yeah. Like right now we can't because of lockdown and whatnot, but I can't wait to do it again.
How often were you working out?
Right now I have a personal trainer twice a week. So normally we do one day of kickboxing, one of full body heavy weights, and then 3 times a week I do like a walk of an hour, 10,000 steps, and yeah, that's my workout.
Nice. How much you lifting?
I do not go towards the kilograms of lifting. I will say, however, that in a year's time I have lost 18 kilograms, which I'm quite happy about.
Hold on, I don't know your European numbers. 18 kilograms.
What is it, like 25 stones?
That's like 39 pounds.
Yeah.
No, stones is the old British one, I think. We got the pounds here in America.
Because that makes more sense.
We got pounds. Yeah, wow, that's pretty nice. 40 pounds lost. Wow. Yeah, I'm the opposite. I try to gain weight because I've been a stick my whole life, so I put on muscle weight, and feels good, especially when like you're so skinny that like a lot of the times when I started working out and like kept working out, you see the progress right away, because the muscles are literally right there.
Hiding it.
Yeah.
So unfair. Do you have a 6-pack as well now?
I have a 4-pack. The bottom 2 of the pack aren't coming in as well. But I do have the top 2 packs are there, and if I can get that bottom one, usually if I do the and I do you flex it, then I can see it. But I'm working on it. Those bottom 2 are the hardest ones to get going.
Yeah, it's like it's the one where you need to do the legs up in the air, isn't it? The one that really burns.
Yeah, I gotta start working on that. But usually, I'll do like upper body day, then I do leg day, and I'll do my cardio on leg day, and then I just go back and forth. But in terms, like, I didn't start this to just be like, oh, look how buff I can get. I started it because I was like, I need to lower my blood pressure, and I'm falling apart. So it's more of just a health thing. And now it's just become, part of who I am. But it feels good. Feels good.
It's part of who I am. Buffed Crendor with the Jesus hair. It's just part of who I am, man.
Part of who I am.
Nah, but it's well done. Like, I remember seeing you a few years ago and seeing that progress over time. It's insane. You should be super proud.
Oh yeah, it's one of those things where I never thought I would become a gym rat. Back in the day, I was just some nerd in a chair being like, hey, it's me, Billy, and drinking my sody pops and whatever. And then, now I'm just like, ugh.
And it's fun, isn't it? It's just getting into the habit of it.
Honestly, it's not even just about the physical aspect of it. It's about the mental. Like, after you work out, you just feel good. You feel energized. You get all those like workout chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
Stress goes down. Anxiety levels go down. That's the big one.
It's all beneficial. Like, during the workout, you'll feel like hell, but afterwards, it's delicious.
Mm-hmm. And even posture, because like when you do this for years and you're sitting there like, ugh, like all hunched over, when you start getting some posture things, you do some like, pull-ups and like dead hangs, and you're just hanging there and you feel your shoulders decompressing and your spine. You're like, oh my god, this is good. That's good stuff.
You should make content on this, man. That's super inspirational.
I probably should, but content, I don't know. I could make non-content workouts. That might be good. That might be better.
Right. And you're sitting with a sandwich eating it. Like, hi, this is my workout.
Yeah. It's, I don't know. Even, I always tell the story of how when I first got a trainer and they did like strength testing on a scale, I think it was like a scale of 41 to 141. I tested at a 42. So like I was at almost the bottom tier of strength. So it was pretty bad, but I would say now I'm in the above average tier now. So it feels good to not be at a crippled grandma strength.
Did you ever go back and take the test again?
I didn't, but I want to now. Yes. I really do, because like then I can compare it and just be like, where am I? Because I'm way beyond where I was when I started. In fact, there was my final, buff story I'll tell was I took apart a desk, and one of the things in the desk, I like just laid it against the wall after I took it apart, and I was like, it's too heavy to move. And then like years later, I was like, why don't I just move that now? I bet I could lift it. And I literally just lifted it like it was nothing. And I was like, oh my god, this is what it's like. This is what strength is. Like, it felt like it was in an RPG, and I like put all my strength points in, and they're like, oh, now you can do this thing you couldn't do.
Just like, I have the power. Did you go around showing everybody? Look what I did. I lifted this.
Well, I mean, I tell the story. I didn't show anybody, but
Fair enough. Next time, turn on the camera. Content, non-content.
Yeah, and then it's just I don't even have to film the thing. It's just the camera filming the ground, being like like moving around. That's quality.
Right.
Anyway, that's unrelated to the entire video. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I'll put Nobble's links in the description. Go check them out. Subscribe. Hit the bell. Do the same for Noble. Like, comment, subscribe. YouTube analytics, YouTube lingo. Anything else you want to add?
Go get buffed. And,
Go get buffed.
Send pictures.
Noble wants your pictures, especially